So we're going to take a look and review this case and tell you whether it's worth the buy or not the buy. This is the Thermaltake View 32. Actually, this is the View 23. TGs, tempered glass, ARGB, addressable RGBs. So this is what we're going to be taking a look at, and then later on down the line we've got the new AIO water cooling solution, and we're going to be taking that to the build and making sure that's all good. I don't really know what's going on here. It's like I can't unbox something. There we go. Yeah, so we're going to be taking a look and giving you my honest opinion, then obviously putting in a 360 rad in the next video. So click this notification bell because you don't want to miss anything. And then obviously subscribe, share to all your mates and everything like that, so they can all have good gaming computers or whatever computers that you want. Please don't electrocute me. Ah! Oh, I didn't, cool. Oh, right, so spin this around the right way. Right, cool, excellent. So this case is the View 23 Thermaltake case. Now this is a MIDI case, so for anyone wanting not too much of like a full tower or a big tower or a mini ITX or micro ATX case, even though this can fit ITX and micro ATX and normal ATX, but it cannot fit an extended ATX. On the top of the case we've got a power indicator button, we've got an indicator light, we've got two USB 3s, we've got a reset button, we've got a microphone, 3.5mm jack, headphone jack, and also RGB button, which has got a nice clicking sensation. At the top you can fit two 120mm fans and one 140mm fans to exhaust the MOSFETs and the chokes from the actual motherboard from the heat sinks. So that's pretty decent that you've got one that you can fit on there, but it's a bit awkward because you would want, well, it's not really that awkward. It's a MIDI case, so they kind of made it smaller but still adaptable for your needs to be able to get a fan to exhaust the heat necessary from the heat sinks. Inside the case you can fit a 240 radiator in there, or a 140, which is the side panel, which a honeycomb feeling to it. It's slightly embroidered as well, so it can give it a little bit of a lift from the radiator itself. On the front you can fit 360 fans on the front, which it does come with 3 120mm fans. And these are RGB, they're connected to a PCB board in the side panel of the case. The back does not have RGB, but it does come with another 120mm fan, so that's 4 120mm fans. You can also fit a 360 or a 240 or a 120 on the front radiator solution, so that's not bad. And on the back you can also fit a 120 solution for radiator and 120mm fan at the back there. Mind you though, it is a DC fan, so you might want to swap this out or you might want to leave it in. You can also fit 2 SSDs or two 2.5-inch mechanical hard drives, and you can also fit another 2 in the base on this plate here, or 2 3.5-inch mechanical hard drives. Underneath the case you will be able to take this filter off, which is for the power supply. It's very cheap and flimsy, but it's easy to clean and easy to wipe off. At least it comes with a filter. If you're planning on putting this on the carpet, don't, because if it's going to be a thick carpet or even just a normal standard carpet, which is quite thin, it might just be okay. But anyone, if I just say put it on a carpet, technically cases ain't meant to really go on a carpet because it produces static electricity. It could damage obviously the power supply because it's not breathing right and exhausting right. This is more for on the desk as it's a MIDI side case. We've got a nice little Stroud and everything like that with a 2.5-inch base drive plate that goes on there. And then obviously there's a nice little cutout for the Stroud to show off your power supply if you're going to do so. And you can fit an additional 140 fan on the side there. Actually, is this 140 or 120? 120 fans there, so you can fit another 2 120 fans there and be happy with that. It's got nice little cutout holes on the case as well, so you've got an easy access for the power cable for the SSD or mechanical hard drive, and also the SATA connector for the data. And they put it right next to the SSD rather than doing it offset, like say some cases I've got like the SSD mount there, but they didn't do a cutout hole. It just comes through around here and it looks stupid. So that's really nice. You've got the cables there for the IO to obviously control the power, and obviously USB and stuff at the front there. HD audio cable cutout there as well. PCIe cables to come out through here. And also if you've got an extended ATX, well not extended ATX, if you've got like your radiator here, you can get your fans going through there as well. This doesn't fit an extended ATX motherboard, only ATX, mini ATX and micro ATX motherboards inside this case. You also do come with standoffs, and these standoffs are black, so it's just easy to like mount the screws on and that. You do get a USB 3 cable that's nicely braided with no added like cables hanging off to make it messy. Then your front IO cables are nicely braided as well, but the HD audio is not braided, but it does have a cutout at the bottom there, so you can connect it to the motherboard. So literally everything is in the right place to cut out. If you're going to use a micro ATX motherboard, it's got the cutout holes there as well for the HD audio and other accessory cables, which is pretty good. EPS connectors come out from the top here, which is a nice little cutout, and then you've got some fans there for the CPU pump or CPU cables, and PCB board at the back there for cables to run ARGB and stuff, and that's pretty cool. Cables are not attached to the front panel of the case, but it does have breathable space on the side there, but not a lot, because it's also got a filter inside there which kind of restricts it, but it's still got airflow, but not maximum airflow. So if you're looking for maximum airflow and maximum overclocking over aesthetics, then I suggest you look at a different case. This case is more a MIDI size case, and I would probably use like a 9600K in it, or maybe a 2400G AMD CPU. Graphics card, probably like a 560, 570 in there, and maybe up to an RTX 2060 or 1070, 1080, something like that. Something that's not too big in this case. It just makes more sense that it's not going to produce, because it's a small space and there's not enough breathable holes in there. Even though you can put like two 120mm fans and a 140mm fans, you can definitely exhaust the heat from at the top and also at the back, and then you've got cool air coming through the front, but there's no filter at the front as much, and if you've got a radiator at the front, it's going to restrict it. But if you've got it on the back there, it's got a nice side panel which is here with an added extra filter, and this will be able to exhaust the heat from the radiator, which will be a 240 on the side there, or even a 120. And then you've got it's just magnetic and easy to clean, not a problem. It's got a bit of a flex to it, but it's a lot lighter as a case. At the back, we've got 7 PCI slots for your graphics cards, or if you're going to put, say, like an audio card. Well, you don't need to put an audio card in because it's really good audio on a motherboard. If you've got a decent new and up-to-date one, you've got a 120mm fan at the back there with no slots or no adjustment, but you can put a 120mm radiator on the back there, as I said before. No bracket there holding down the actual PCI brackets, but it's obviously a bracket inside there, which is the screw which holds it into the bracket itself, and then that makes more sense. Also on the back there, there's no removable PSU bracket that you can connect and push it through. But talking about the back itself, we do have a good bit of room. We've got about this much room to obviously have your cables if you've got a normal standard ATX power supply in there, and then obviously the filter that goes underneath, which I said before, would be nice to see it being magnetic. There's no like real lift off. There's like about that much, like a good like 3mm lift off from the power supply, so it's away from the bottom of the case. You've got a cutout hole from Stroud, as I said earlier. Then obviously this is where you got your 2.5 inch mechanical SSDs or 2.5 inch mechanical hard drives or 3.5 mechanical hard drives that go into this slot, and these are metal but they're not got captive screws on there, so just be wary of that. Then obviously you got that much clearance for a radiator to be put in there as well, and then you've got a few cable tie off points, which is nice. On the back here on the side you've got a good finger width on the back there, but on this side here you've got about half a finger width, that's what I meant to say. You've got half a finger width there and a whole finger width there, and then we've got the nice cable tie off points and stuff. This is for the PCB board to give it power and fan power and RGB, because it's addressable RGB, so you can literally connect this to your motherboard and sync it, or you don't have to put it to your motherboard and sync it. It's up to you how you want to do it. Cables are nicely flat and stuff, and nice to do cable management for this sort of channeling right there. Nice big cutout for your CPU air cooler or custom water cooling AIO liquid cooling solution. And then you've got a few cutout holes there to pass through to the cables, and you've got a few there as well. It just looks pretty nice. It's pretty easy to take apart. And what I like about what they've done here, they've done it properly. So if you've had problems in the past with other cases or other Thermaltake cases where they've gave you 2 long screws at the bottom and the rest are just like screwed in from the back, and then when you've done a build you've got to undo it and it does your hand in and takes ages. All these screws in the front are all for radiator screws, so you'll be able to stick a radiator in and the fans, and it's no problem whatsoever. All included and not being able to be lost because it's all behind here. So if you like this video, thought it was helpful, subscribe, share, like, follow me on all social media platforms, and obviously comment down below, hit that bell if you want to be not missing a single video from me and everything like that. Plus there's going to be another video of me connecting this up with AIO in another future build, and we're going to see and check temperatures, synthetic benchmarks, and then obviously real world benchmarks by playing the games, by rendering something and seeing how much heat we can produce with this and how much we can exhaust from it. Anyway, as I said before, merch store down below and all that. Subscribe, share, like, follow me on all social media platforms, and I'll see you next one. Thanks for watching. Roger and goddamn out.